All right, people, this is what happens when you hand over the keys to your once amazing city to an Islamist mayor like Mamdani. Check this out. This afternoon, two people were stabbed in separate attacks on the Upper West Side. Both victims, an Asian male and a Jewish male, were removed to Mount Sinai St. Luke's Hospital, and both are expected to survive. So that's good news. The NYPD has arrested a 51-year-old Raul Morales in connection with both assaults, and no other people are being sought. Detectives are continuing to work the case and determine motive, but according to victim and witness statements, Morales yelled, "Allahu Akbar," during both attacks. Now, this is not a Muslim name, Raul Morales. He could be a Muslim convert, might be. And check out this part. The NYPD is currently evaluating whether this is a potential hate crime. While the perpetrator has no known mental health history with the NYPD, the initial investigation suggests that mental health may have been a factor. Well, if he converted to Islam, maybe the Chinese were right. This is what the Chinese said. For China, Islam is a mental illness that needs to be cured. I agree. You cannot follow Islam in this day and age. You cannot. We've seen far too many videos expressing hate towards the non-Muslims. Is this guy suffering from mental illness?
It is from our religion that we have to hate them for the sake of Allah. We love what Allah loves, and on the opposite of that, we hate what Allah hates.
Let's not beat around the bush. We don't love each other. We're not on the same page. We are not friends. Does that make sense? On the same page. We are enemies. Does that make sense?
Very simple. No integration, no multiculturalism, no diversity, no tolerance. I got my own deen, you got your own deen. You got your democracy, we got our own sharia. You got your own free mixing, we got our own nikah. I got my own cheating within the marketplace, your own credit cards. We got our own economic system, we got our own foreign policy.
See, they hate non-Muslims. They're just following what's written in their books, what's written in the Quran. Let me show you. What does the Quran say? I'm sure you've heard of this infamous quote of Muhammad. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, so 90% of Muslims are Sunni, and none of them can deny this book of Hadith, Sahih al-Bukhari. Allah's Messenger Muhammad, the hour will not be established until you fight with the Jews, and the stone behind which a Jew will be hiding will say, "Oh, Muslim, there's a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him." When your scriptures tell you to hate a people, what do you expect? Now, I don't know. As I said, this guy might have just He truly might be a loony, might not be a Muslim. But if he converted to Islam and then he did this, then this is not mental illness in the typical way where a person doesn't know what he's doing. They know what they're doing. They understand what their religion demands them. Look at this. Listen to this. Let me read that to you because it's in Arabic. He's saying, our hatred of the Jews is based upon our faith. The Quran tells us to hate them, not to love them. True. If this is another cleric, if the Jews left Palestine to us, would we start loving them? No, this is what we keep telling you. This is Gaza, Palestine. This is just a bloody excuse. Israel didn't exist before 1948. How many stories there are of Muslims falling in love with the Jews? Yeah, there are some historians who said that, some Jewish people said that they were treated on some occasions, they were treated better under Muslims than they were under Christians. But that's not to say that they loved them. That is just a comparative analysis. This cleric is saying, of course not. We will never love them. Absolutely not. Your belief regarding the Jews should be first that they are infidels. That's it, guys. That's it. You're infidels. You'll never be any better than that. And they tell us to coexist peacefully with them. They are telling you they don't want to live with infidels peacefully. They don't. And second, that they are enemies. They are enemies not because they have occupied Palestine, although that is their favorite excuse at the moment. They would have been enemies even if they did not occupy a thing. This is a Qatari cleric. These are the people who are pouring billions of dollars into Western universities. We will treat the Jews as our enemies, even if they return Palestine to us, because they are infidels. That's it. In short, these are the Jews. As Muslims, our blood vengeance against them. We will only subside with their annihilation, Allah willing. Inshallah, that's what it means. Because they tried to kill our prophet several times. That's the reason. That's it. The worst enemies of the Muslims after Satan are the Jews. Who said this? Allah did. That's true. That's true. It's in the Quran. Jews are the enemies of Islam and Muslims. So you expect them not to harm you? Which is why, like, I don't know how many Jewish people actually voted for Mamdani. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you don't know your own history. This is what happens when you don't know your enemies. This is what happens when you are blindsided by your ideological dogma that, oh, it's the white man's fault. It's the white man who is oppressing us. Muslims, brown people, black people, they're all victims of the white man. I say maybe that was a good thing. I don't know. I don't know why people apologize. Anyway, I don't want to digress. Let me show you some more words of wisdom. Look at this. These were Muhammad's dying words. The prohibition of building mosques over graves and placing images therein, and the prohibition of taking graves as mosques. Abu Huraira reported, one of the credible recorders of hadiths. Hadith mean Muhammad's sayings. The Messenger of Allah, Muhammad, said, "Let there be curse of Allah upon the Jews and the Christians, for they have taken the graves of their apostles as places of worship." They hate both Jews and Christians. They hate them. They hate you. They hate you. And you think that they are here to be at peace with you? No. They hate you. They hate you. Most people don't know this, but let me tell you this. Caliph Umar, the second Umar, not Umar bin Khattab, the other one, Umar bin, what was his name? I forgot this name's Umar. Umar bin Abdulaziz. Yeah, the second Umar. People think that Hitler made Jews wear the Star of David as a marker. No. Caliph Umar bin Abdulaziz, and he's considered as one of the good caliphs, by the way. He was the first one to force Jews to wear a yellow star. 2 yellow badges are to be displayed, one on the headgear and one on the neck. Furthermore, each Jew must hang around his neck a piece of lead weighing 3 grams with the word dhimmi on it. Dhimmi means you're second-class citizen, meaning you are not equal to Muslims. He also has to wear a belt around his waist. That's Islam. This is what will happen to Jews under Muslims. Don't think that this is some centuries-old tradition. No. You've seen what they're capable of. You saw what they did in ISIS. You can see what they're doing in Afghanistan. These people are incredibly dogmatic about their religion, about their faith. They aspire, even their modern PhD, lipstick-wearing scholars and Muslims aspire to go back to the times of Muhammad. Yeah, some people see that as a strength. I see it as a weakness. That rigidity, that dogma forces them not to evolve. And eventually, in my opinion, that is the reason why a lot of Muslims are also leaving Islam. That's the reason why a lot of Muslims are becoming ex-Muslims, because they're like, it's impossible to go back to the times of Muhammad. It's impossible to go back to those medieval times where you have to hate the Jews and Christians so much that you're going to force them to wear identifying badges and be treated as second and third class citizens. Yes, they're capable of doing that. As I said, look what ISIS did, what the Taliban did. Look how Muslims treat minorities in their own countries. Even countries like Indonesia, they regularly destroy churches. I don't even have to tell you about what's happening in Africa. In Pakistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia, Turkey, the poster boy of the face of modern Islam. Hey, look, we're different. What did the current Islamists, what did he do over there? He turned Hagia Sophia, a neutral ground, into a mosque. They are all capable of going back to those medieval times. So what I just showed you, how Umar bin Abdulaziz, and as I said, Muslims look up to him. Muslims consider him as the 5th caliph that Islam didn't have, because after the first 4 caliph, the caliphs known as Khulafai Rashidun, the first 4 caliphs who were the companions of Muhammad, Islamic world fell into chaos. The Umayyads came and the Abbasids came. So they were just kings, basically. Yeah, they were called caliphs, but they're not respected. But then Umar bin Abdulaziz came, this guy, probably 100 years later. So he's considered as one of the good caliphs. He did that. This is what he did. They emulate these kind of people. These are their heroes. And you think that, we can bring in 1 million Muslims in New York, in London, and everything will be fine. They're just like any other people. They're not. Your suicidal empathy is freaking killing you. And it's not just white people who are suffering from suicidal empathy. It's the Jews too. There's a very vibrant, woke Jewish community. They vote for these Islamists. They hate Israel themselves. They themselves hate Israel. They say, we're Jews. We're not Zionists. That's why I love Zionists. That's why I love Israel. That's why I am more Zionist than some of the most radical Zionists you'll ever find, because I understand the enemy that the Jews or that the Zionists are fighting. I understand that. The sooner you understand that, the better it is for you.